And another beautiful morning on the gorgeous Gold Coast here in sunny Queensland, Australia. Great part of the world to live. Absolutely sensational. God's country, I say. But hey, any part of the world is, in my way of thinking. I just want to have a yarn today about the complete meaning to what I learned about when we take responsibility for our thoughts, behaviours, actions and decisions. I think I need to be clear through my experience. Doing this is not about not blaming people for circumstances that we all find ourselves in, or blaming other things around situations that happen to all of us on a day-to-day basis. It would be unrealistic to talk to people about taking responsibility for ourselves and then expecting people not to feel certain emotions that come up when we do go into relationships, when we do attempt to achieve our goals, when we do attempt to go for our dreams, when we do attempt to do things in life and things just don't go our way. When we do keep trying at things and we get the raw end of the prawn. That's real. And that happens all the time. As human beings, because we're all connected, it is impossible to escape that. Absolutely impossible to escape it. So it's important to talk about your hurt. It's important to talk about your disappointment. It's important to blame people for that stuff initially. Because if you don't start somewhere, how are you going to process your feelings in situations that you put yourself in? It's impossible not to get affected by your efforts and what you try to do in your life. It's impossible. So a little takeaway, yes, you are going to get affected in being responsible for yourself, for your behaviours, your actions, your decisions, what you do. Yes, you are going to be disappointed. Yes, you are not going to achieve what you want to achieve. Yes, people are going to have motives and hurt you and come from a different place than where you believe that you trusted those people. You are going to be affected by others in the world during the course of your life and what you do. True responsibility is knowing that you have got feelings, is knowing that you need to vent, you need to reach out and you need to talk to people about these emotions and these thoughts and these incidences or whatever's occurred, the hurt and disappointment within yourself. That's true responsibility. To make the effort to talk about all the struggle that you go through in your life, all the heartache, all the past struggle. And if you're not talking about that, well, you're not getting to the starting line, unfortunately. You're going to stay in the past. You're going to stay where you don't want to stay. You're not going to move on if you don't make the effort to overcome your past pain and what you've been through. That's not being responsible for your part that you've contributed consciously or unfortunately unconscious. A lot of bad things happen to good people. Don't be hoodwinked and think that that's not the case, and I know you're not. But you've got to understand that you have to deal with the stuff that has caused you pain and caused you hurt and caused an unhappy life. If you don't get to the starting line and make the effort to see counsellors, to ring people up, to talk about your struggles, then you're responsible for that. You are absolutely responsible for every part of that. A lack of non-action and effort is your accountability in your life. You're responsible for. And that's a part of being responsible for your actions, and it's a decision. And if you're not doing that, well, that's not being responsible for your life. So making the effort to talk about your struggles, to talk about the incidences that have led you to your pain, the people, the circumstances, all of it. You can't not exclude one bit of it. If you start excluding it, then you don't deal with it. But the more you make the effort from talking about your feelings and how you felt in situations of struggle, then you get to your feelings after you've vented and blamed and accused, not taking responsibility for what you've done, your behaviour, your actions, your choices that you made along the way. Man, we all make the choice. You cannot escape that. We all make the choices in our lives. It's then that we can get to our emotions. How disappointed we were, how hurt we were, how angry we were, how frustrated we were, how let down we were, how scared we were, how inadequate we were, how upset we were, how disappointed we were. We need to go to our feelings, and that's when we go, I feel hurt, I feel disappointed, I made the wrong decision. How many times do we go, if I only knew now what I did then? We do it all the time. And it's okay. It's okay. And working through our feelings and relieving ourselves through communication of those emotions and of those feelings is your reward. The danger of not taking responsibility and continuously blaming all the time is you never ever come out of it. You'll keep making the same mistake again and again and again. I suppose you've heard of the definition of madness. It's doing the same thing and expecting a different result. It just doesn't happen. You've got to change the behaviour. And the only way we change our behaviour is we've got to go through tough times. And it's in our tough times that we see our part we've played in all the tough times. And when we see our part that we've played in it, and we learn to talk about those tough times, that's where the freedom is. That's where we can move on. That's accountability. That's responsibility. That's standing up for yourself. That's being courageous. That's expression of your true heart and your true soul. And until you get to that, You might just think taking responsibility for your thoughts, behaviour and actions is impossible. Where it's not impossible. You're human. You are going to blame. You are going to be critical. You are going to give reason for what you do. It's normal human behaviour to go through it. But when you understand that's just part of the process of accountability for how we feel, and that's when we can understand that taking responsibility for ourselves, a part of that journey is blaming, is venting. You can't get to your feelings and you can't process your feelings if you don't go through that. So I think it's important that we do understand that accountability and responsibility is about, it's okay, it's about talking about other people. It's about talking about the situation that you become disappointed in. It's talking about the pain. It's talking about the fear. It's talking about the struggle. It's all in there. And the more you make the effort to find out about if you're responsible enough and if you're accountable enough for your thoughts, actions and decisions, you'll know that by the effort that you put in to talk about it. You've got to keep talking. You must keep talking. And that's the other takeaway in it. If you don't talk, if you avoid, if you don't find the words for your internal dialogue, you won't develop. You'll just go through your life maybe blaming and struggling all your life until you get to near the end of it and you go, well, wait there. Maybe I could have rid myself of my pain. Maybe I didn't listen. Maybe I thought I knew it all. Maybe I was too arrogant. Maybe I was too self-righteous. Maybe I thought I was better than other people. Just a little bit of food for thought. But you're not. You're just a human being doing your best. Like every single human being in this world doing their best. So on that note, God bless. And be good to yourself. And take responsibility for your life and what you do and your circumstances and everything with that. Your relationships, your jobs, everything. Take responsibility. And then you get to your feelings and you talk about that, and that's when you can get over stuff that you're not happy with in your life. You take care now and have a beautiful day.